All right, guys, welcome back. We're gonna go over our trades for today. And yesterday we took 4 trades. Today we took 3 trades. And honestly, despite for the markets being slower, I still did pretty good. I feel like I was patient. I got out, even if it was small losses, and they didn't add up. So I'm gonna pat myself on the back for that. I think I did pretty good. So our first trade, we're gonna go over to the screen right over here. So our first trade was BTAI yesterday. So BTAI pops up on the scanner, news comes out, some clinical data. Um, we'll check here just to make sure that's what it was. Yep. So I'm looking at BTAI and it's still under the VWAP. So what I'm waiting for, I'm waiting for this breakout. I don't take a trade yet because I don't know if it's gonna collapse. I was waiting for a breakout towards this area right here within the 360. So it did break out there because that's previous resistance from this pre-market. I try to jump in right here, but I end up getting filled up pretty high, and the stock doesn't really do much from there. I kind of missed the bulk of the move from here. I was out on about $20. So I got in here and I got out at this top. And honestly, it was only for $8. I hesitated getting in right here, so I got in pretty high. I got in around 372, got out 380, and I got out in time. The stock did eventually go below the VWAP, and I was like, okay, that's fine. The next trade after that was GV. So GV, this was yesterday's trades. It's been a busy day for me, guys. Today I've just been working. Pretty tired, I'm not gonna lie, but man, I'm glad it's over. All right, so GV, I took this trade right before 5 a.m. So 5 a.m., the stock's pretty good price, just like where I like it, cheaper on the menu. I like things when they're cheaper. And I don't take my first trade, actually, 448 is where I take my trade. So let's see where I take it, right here. Yep, right here. So I got in at 448. Right here. I got in a little bit too high. It pulls back, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take my loss. Took my loss at $4.99, $5. I was like, okay, this is probably going to fail. And then I see this go up, and I'm like, shit. Well, I don't know. I kind of to me, I felt it was pretty risky. Just holding. I saw that this was starting to fall. I didn't really feel comfortable in taking another trade, but I kind of was just looking at this, and I was like, okay, wait. After the move went up, I'm like, wait, volume immediately jumped from 24,000 to 75,000. That should have been my cue to get in, and this would have been a really good profit, $30, maybe $40. But yeah, as soon as I start seeing that, that's pretty obvious pattern. But I kind of just I felt pretty dumb. I don't know. I was just looking at that and I was like, damn. I just watched it all unfold, and sometimes that's what's gonna happen. That's how you learn. That's how I learn. And it is what it is. Now I know, if I see that volume jump, it jumped about 3 times volume, and it maintained it pretty heavily, and then it still kept on going, and it eventually topped out here, and it fell from there. So, hey, I lost $5. Better than losing $20, $50, $100. So, I think I did the right thing. I just played it safe, and things were pretty slow this morning, or yesterday morning. Today too, but not as bad as yesterday. So yesterday I took a trade on Zeus. This was a bad trade. I shouldn't have taken a trade right around here. I took my first trade around 501. I got in. I got filled in at the top, and then it sunk down, and I was like, okay, I'm selling. I got out for a loss of $8, $8.98. I got my notes right here because I took a lot of trades. I'm not gonna remember this. And Zeus, I did do good on one time. I think 2 weeks ago, last week. I did see that there was a private placement, but that it was going to be at $2 per share. So I saw that and I was like, okay, maybe this can be a good move, good squeeze up. But it didn't. It failed right here, and it failed at 173, and that was it. Nothing crazy happened. So okay, I lost $8. I'm down about $13. So, yeah, I'm down about $5 on the day from here. So I have AIMD as my last trade for that day. So I know the day before this, AIMD kind of ate my butt. Like, I was like, damn, I kind of fumbled that trade. And I know one of you guys commented, you guys really didn't. He said he didn't really understand why I took that trade. It didn't make sense. But today made more sense. And we can see here from this price action and from this, this chart right here, I took my trade around 5. So right around here. It was a little bit delayed. I mean, I thought it was going to go higher, but I still made pretty good profits. So I took my first trade right around 503. So we're going to go back right over here. Yeah, okay, so it pulls back. I get in, right? I bought in here and I get out for a win of $23. And I feel like I was right from there. I could have kept holding. $20, $23 on this last trade. I didn't think that this would continue up even higher than it did. So that's why it was a bit choppy. I feel like I did the right move, selling out at the top. Not this candle, sorry. Actually, let me go back. There was a specific area that I took this trade on. I may be wrong. Sorry, this is all fuzz. 280, okay. Yeah, so I got in at 280, 503, so it was actually a little bit earlier. And where did I get out? Oh, okay, that's what happened. So that makes sense. So I got them filled up a little bit too high, right? As you can see, 280, pretty much at this candle. And I'm still holding. So I shouldn't have been holding. Sorry. I remember this now. But this kept on bouncing off support from here, and support was slowly increasing. So I do see that when this pattern's when support is slowly increasing, I do know that it is a bullish sign, and it could lead into a breakout. And I sell around 507, as you can see here from the timestamp from this candle, 507. But really, I don't know. Well, obviously I shouldn't have bought in at the top. So that, I feel like I felt a bit rushed. This was towards the end of the morning for me. So probably towards the end of the morning, I have to start noticing that, okay, I can't get desperate for any trades. If I'm going to take an entry, it has to be a really good entry, and this was a poor entry. So this was not a good trade. I'm going to say I got lucky on this trade, which I feel like I did. It could have gone either way. It could have flushed. Volume was okay. I mean, it was fluctuating from low to high, and it was steadily increasing, especially around this area. So maybe this could have done something better or put out a better move, but the price action from the day before, I don't know, had me a little bit worried. So that should have put me on the side of caution, especially if I've lost on the same stock before. Hey, I'll give it a stock another, twice, maybe 3 times, but 3 times I'm like, okay, I don't know. I have bad history, but I haven't had a history. I haven't taken a trade on same stock 3 times. This is probably like twice that I've done that before, or back to back. Okay, so that left me with the day. Let's see what the profit was for that day, and I'll show you guys what was today as well. For green. Yeah, $17 on that day. Today I made 66. So today's trade, today was good. All green, all 3. So CMCT pops up on the scanner. So this one was a little bit choppier in the beginning. I was anticipating for a breakout of 10. So right over here. So I'm seeing that this candle right here is causing us troubles. That this is going to be resistance around this area. So at the bottom of the hour, let's see, right around here. Yep. So I take a trade at 908 as my stock price. So I'm in at 908. This is breaking out, and I'm waiting for this to hit a high of 10 and break out even further. I don't take any trade right here because same thing as the day before. I want to make sure that this is going to stay above the VWAP properly and not flush, and it did. It held, it beat this high, and then I was using this candle as my next set of resistance, and it really couldn't break 10 here. I got out a little bit early. I was like, okay, you know what, first trade of the day, let me just take my profits. It was $33. I'm gonna take that any day, and it kept bouncing up and rejecting, bouncing up and reject again. It finally broke over 10, but it didn't really hold for long, and it kept flushing, and it flushed from there. So that, I don't know, could have been a good trade. I feel like this would have been really good. But there were sellers. I did see some sellers today. That's why I also left early. I G'd early. I think I saw a 15K seller on the ask, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get out. So there was some heavy. They hammered the shit out of this stock at $10. As you can tell, they didn't really stock didn't stay at $10. And this didn't have any news. This was the only stock at the time, but it did make sense. So I feel like the way I'm trading this kind of setup, VWAP breakout, making sure that this is beating the high from this morning, or at least trying to reach up to that point and then selling and taking profit. I don't think that's a bad idea. Let me know how else I could make this strategy better. I'm going obviously based off the momentum. It was a little bit lighter on volume though. It wasn't anything crazy. I mean, the highest candle was about 74,000 shares. So of this morning. Okay, and then we have AGRI. So AGRI was the next stock I traded. This one I made $22. AGRI, I also like the stock, low float. News, let's see what the news was. No news. So again, no news headline. Well, the news is that it did, have some volume spiking. So I took this trade right before 4:30. So 4:28. I believe I took it right here. Okay, let me see my timestamp for this one. This one I'm actually not too familiar. I didn't write this one down. AGRI. Okay, I took my first trade at 420 at 380. So 420 or 428, 380. Okay. So I did take a trade below the VWAP. It did flush down a little bit. Using this candle as my stop. So if it sunk lower, I would have sold. And it popped up, and I believe I sell at 431. So I'm holding this for about 3 minutes. So right around here. I did sell here. And yeah, I was giving this a chance. There wasn't that much selling going on. But this is definitely something to be careful about. When it keeps dropping like that. This didn't make sense either. Now that I'm looking at it, I don't know why I traded this. This isn't really the setup I should be looking for. This is, I would say, a C quality setup. I don't even think you can call it B. I mean, this did pull back and then break VWAP, pull back again, increasing its support, but then it just didn't hold from there. Yeah, no, this didn't make sense. I should have been watching this one carefully. Sometimes when I have the scanner on my screen pop up, I kind of just get jumpy. I'm like, oh shit, something's going up. And this was a slow morning. So the emotions are going to be played pretty easily here. Yeah, that didn't make sense. All right. At least I'm recognizing that this is not a good trade. So I wonder how else I could have done this. I mean, could have waited a little bit more for better action and better technical setup. Yeah, this technical setup is not something that is this is not a good technical setup. Bad trade. I got lucky. All right, YHT. Hey, but sometimes a little luck in the market is needed, but not all the time. So YHC, I made about $11 on this. So I took this trade after 5, right around here. Okay, I saw this. This one was a quick winner. Well, the news headline was that they have a strategic collab with TikTok. So I'm like, okay, that should get some traction. TikTok's a pretty famous app. A lot of people use it. And I get in at 502. So let's see, pulls back right here. Yep, I get in right here, and I saw at this top, at this candle, and went for $11. The reason why I left early on this one, I know it's a smaller price stock, but the stock price action on this is it's not that good. It's not jumping 10 cents, 5 cents. It was, very, very slow. And I was like, okay, I don't think it's going to be worth my time. Like, look, 20 minutes later, yeah, it went up to 190, but I don't want to hold for 20 minutes. It's too much anxiety, It went up to $2 after almost an hour. That's not really worth it. So, I saved myself some time and went back to sleep after that trade. Okay, so we saw my P&L for that month, or for today. So today was pretty good. We put ourselves back in the green on the month. Thankfully, tomorrow we're gonna do the same. We're gonna keep ourselves green. We're gonna be slow and steady. I kept this slow and steady. No rash trades. Nothing crazy. I didn't full port first, trade of the day. I gotta slowly eat the pie piece by piece. Because if I try to eat the whole pie, I'm gonna throw up. And I'm only down $7 in the week, so I think tomorrow will be pretty good. Let me know what you guys think I should do in terms of improving. I am looking at the volume candles better. I am looking at the level 2 as I'm trading. I'm noticing I'm starting to focus more of my attention on the level 2 to confirm my buy and to keep me away from buying in. When I see heavy sellers, I am able to recognize that, and that kind of keeps me away from certain trades or from getting back in. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Try to make it entertaining as possible. Hey, the green panda helped. I said that we're going to get a green, and we've been green this whole week. So this green stress ball is so good. That squeaking is my dog. So all right, take care. Have a good August 8th when you guys trade, and I will too. All right, peace. Thank you.